Akure is one of the fastest growing state capitals in Nigeria in terms of economic development, and so it is understandable that population growth is massive, which naturally has consequences on infrastructure, necessitating provision of more facilities and expansion of existing ones. To meet the growing infrastructure requirements in Ondo State, the Akure administration has therefore put up several structures for public use and expanded roads to ease vehicular movement. The government has gone further by constructing flyovers, with the first in the state being the one at Ore in the South Senatorial District a few years ago. Now the government is constructing another, this time in the Central Senatorial District, Akure, the state capital, to be specific. Welcome to another edition of Sunshine Infrastructure Revolution. My name is Akure Abodunde. The flyover project is ongoing, and so on this edition of the program, we will take you through the issues that led to the conceptualization of the project and let you know how much work has been done so far. Let us take a message from our sponsor.
Infrastructural development is key to creating a community where people are excited to live, where investors are willing to put their money, and where people are willing to visit for relaxation. Since 2017, infrastructural development has been done with passion in Ondo State by the Akure administration, and the government has made sure that its infrastructural development drive cuts across all sectors, including transportation, health, education, commerce, tourism, security, revenue generation, among others. Ondo State is now the best place to invest, relax, and live in. The governor, Onyearugbulem-Shagari, SAN-CON, therefore invites the world to the state to enjoy the fantastic opportunities provided through massive infrastructural development by his administration. This message is powered by Ondo State Ministry of Infrastructure, Lands and Housing. Ondo State, think anew, act anew.
Let's now take the responses to the comments and questions you sent after the last edition. Please keep the questions and comments coming through the number on your screen. Now let's take you to the site of the Onyearugbulem-Shagari village flyover. The Ilesha-Akure Federal Highway is a very busy road, basically because it is one of the routes that serves as a major link from the southwest to the northern and eastern parts of Nigeria. It was constructed in 1978 and has remained a two-lane road ever since, despite the daily increase in vehicular movement on the road and the consequent increase in road mishaps. One of the spots that is extremely notorious for accidents on that federal highway is the Onyearugbulem-Shagari junction axis of Akure, the Ondo State capital.
Onyearugbulem is a road that enters into Akure Township, linking up that federal road. And then directly opposite is a road called Onyearugbulem-Shagari Road. So it's an extension, so to say. Though Irese happen to be a building town in Ifedore, hardly can you bring the distinction between the two. So that Irese is witnessing unusual volume of traffic there because people, they are looking at that place as an alternative to living in Akure metropolis. So the central piece, that's very junction, attracts a lot of traffic intrigues. So our traffic manager, that is the state traffic marshal, fondly called STC, and then the federal road safety. You know, federal road is the core area of federal road safety. So you will find them there all the time because of the volume of traffic in that area.
And anyone who has tried to even transverse from Onyearugbulem end to the Irese end can narrate their ordeal to you. And let me tell you this, that even the state, Ondo State, has lost so many of our citizens at that cross junction. The most recent one is very, very pathetic. A mother and all her children in a day in an accident. This one prompted that they should check the traffic situation on that axis.
For the Akure administration, which is committed to taking holistic action on issues, the best way to check the notorious traffic situation was to provide infrastructure that would reduce to the barest minimum the rate of accidents and loss of lives in that area. The administration therefore decided to construct a flyover bridge across the federal highway.
Yes, we know that there are various options that are open to us as a government. Like people will have said that we could expand the particular section of the road. But would it be feel that considering so many other factors, that was about the best? And I can also assure you that the project has been handled by a very competent contractor who has demonstrated capacity, not only here, but also in other states of the Federation, where we have gone to inspect the projects that they have done. And we have seen that those projects are projects that are stood the test of time. And we expect that nothing short of that will be done here.
Considering the huge financial implication of the project and conscious of its promise to the people not to abandon any project, the government and the contractor agreed on a concept called the Alternative Project Funding Approach.
Akure Ultimate Concerns Limited got its registration in 2006. We operate on construction and engineering as a firm. We're into building, we're into bridges, we're into road constructions and stadium development and anything that has to do with construction and building. We have handled so many projects for state and private establishments.
The alternative project funding approach is to enable the contractor, you go and source the money. Instead of government giving you mobilization to work, you go and source the money. In so doing, you will ensure that you give government value for their money. And if government sees that you have, what you have done have met their standard, then they will start paying you. If they don't find it okay, then you are at risk of losing your money. So we felt that we can do this. We sent proposals to various governments. In 2016, Akure Ibom accepted that proposal. And we flagged up there, and it was a huge success. Then from there, we now moved to Edo State, moved to Oyo State, moved to Osun, and now moved to Lagos. Now we are in Ondo State. And it has always succeeded.
Having come to an agreement on the operationalization of the project, a design was developed which was reviewed and certified okay based on the intention of government.
The bridge itself is 174 meters long from what we can see there. And then we have retaining walls on both sides of the bridge. On the Jeguland side, is 213 meters long, that's the retaining wall. Then on the Rese Road side is 184 meters long. And we have 18 spans in all. And then one special span crossing the Akure our bridge, our road. That span is 30 meters long, and that is quite spectacular. The other spans are 18 meters long, and each span has 8 beams. For the one crossing the main road, it has 9 pre-stressed beams in it. Also, we have we're going to have a box culvert, 3 meter by 3.5 meters on the Rese Road side. And then we have retaining walls, we have the covered drain on both sides of the road. The bridge itself, the carriage highway is 9.2 meters wide. And then we have 4 slip roads. The slip roads are to take traffic away. We have 4 slip roads. If you look at it, that is 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are the slip roads, connecting to the express road.
That sorted, the government began the process of building the flyover with a mandate to all stakeholders in the project that every inch of it must conform with global standards.
Adequate test has been carried out, and I can tell you authoritatively that our engineers have the report of the soil investigation carried out for this area, and that is the basis of the design. Without the soil investigation report, there is no basis for one to just come up with a design of this magnitude. So from that report, I can tell you that adequate provision have been made for this structure to be stable and last a very long time. Also, the EIA has been done. It is part of the requirements for this type of project for us to look at the impact to the environment. So the Ministry of Environment, in conjunction with our consultants, have carried out all the necessary tests required. It's going to be a straight bridge where we have considered realignment of the existing road. So by the time the flyover is in place, it's going to be a straight drive from the crest over there to the drop at Rese Road.
Also, several quality control measures were put in place before commencement of the project, including comprehensive geotechnical analysis of the entire area.
From the results, we were able to determine the depth of the bearing capacity. At the same time, you determine the depth to the bedrock of the bridge. And because of the sensitive of the nature of the project, all the materials were analyzed from different laboratories. Take, for instance, the reinforcement. We carried out a test on it from our own laboratory. We took it to Futa. We did the same test. We took it to Elisade. We carried out the same test. At the same time, we extend the test to University of Ibadan so that we're able to compare the test results to make sure that everything conforms to the required specification used for bridge work.
The government then made a very strategic move that is intended to prevent any gaps professionally and in terms of operations.
We are not leaving any stone unturned to make sure that this project is a success. And talking about the issue of the supervision, we are putting adequate structure to make sure that this project becomes a success in no time. And first and foremost is the magnanimous agreement of His Honorable Commissioner to set up an infrastructure committee headed by the permanent secretaries of the 3 ministries that are in this complex. That's the Ministry of Works and Infrastructure, represented by my humble self, the Ministry of Lands and Housing, headed by an architect, and then the Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development. These are the 3 ministries that are part of this infrastructure supervision committee. This committee also includes the consultant to that project and also the key staffs of the contractor. All of us are saddled with the responsibility of making sure that this project is a success. And as we speak now, we have all hit the field running.
In the last few months, the government and the project handlers have done a lot of work on the project.
The first aspect of work that we did was the clearing and demolition to take charge of the alignment proposed or the design alignment that we have for this project. So during that time, we were able to mark out the alignment set up by the surveyor based on the data of design. And next to it was that we started the foundation work, which is actually a deep foundation approach that we're giving to the bridge, which is the piling of the bridge foundation so as to be able to get out of the foundation to the superstructures of the bridge. And presently, we have been able to walk around the 10 axes that is expected to be piled. And after that, the integrity test and the pile load test on the pile to be sure that the pile is sound enough to receive the load that is expected from the bridge deck down to the foundation. We have also been working ahead to ensure that some of the structures that need to be put in place so as not to hinder the construction process, like the culvert and some other things, we are going on it presently to ensure that we complete those structures before needing to move across to the end of the project.
When the Commissioner for Infrastructure, Lands and Housing, Engineer Raimi Aminu, paid an assessment visit to the site of the project, the site engineer for the handling company, Tosin Adebayo, assured that the project execution is moving at the pace agreed with government.
There has not been any challenge that we face so far that is not expected, because we understand the terrain and the operations that we have to enter into. So we don't have any reason to compromise any standards.
The Infrastructure Commissioner, while answering questions from newsmen, addressed the issues which could be responsible for damage of critical infrastructure, particularly collapse of structures in the country.
We have taken the water control into consideration. That's why we're having a major bus culvert here, because we are controlling all the runoff here. So by having this one, and after built up now, most of the water that has been entering the soil through percolation will turn into surface runoff. That's why, because some people might be asking that why do you have this volume of what we call a culvert here, because it has been considered the design brings out that's what we're expecting that can accommodate the flow. So apart from that, we have some piles on ground. We're expecting about 160 piles altogether according to the design, and so far the constructor has completed 40. And all things being equal, within shortest week, he will complete all the piling works. And the beams for the bridge. So the formwork is ready, the reinforcement is ready. And the rate of mobilization of the contractor is very, very impressive. And we have our men on ground too to supervise them, and the report we'll be getting every day, very, very impressive. It transfers over a major road, major highway, which is to Ibadan and to Benin Axis. And that major highway was taken into consideration when designing, because in future, if there's need for dualizing the major highway, that means that this bridge that we're constructing now, there won't be need to demolish it.
On the choice of the Shagari Onyearugbulem axis for the flyover bridge, the commissioner said 4 critical locations were considered: Futa North South Gate, roadblock to Orita-Obele, Onyearugbulem Road to Shagari Village, and Benin Garage to Ado Road. He emphasized that the analysis done by all the experts engaged for determining which location needed it the most favored Onyearugbulem-Shagari axis.
We have 4 strategic locations really, but once there's traffic gridlock in one location, it affects other. By the congesting this place now, this is the major critical area. I can tell you after completing this one, others there will be free flow. If not 100%, at least 70-80%. And if the need be, if we discover that we still need another flyover in those areas, I know if there's money, Mr. Governor will try his best.
Engineer Aminu also spoke on the issue of compensation to people who had lost property at the project site.
Anybody that we are displacing, that displacement factor will be there. Nobody can be happy. Just like your adage that said that when you want to give your child a tribal mark, the child will be crying, but after healing, he or she will be happy. That's what we are experiencing here. Now, those people that they've demolished their properties, we compensate them. But no matter the compensation, they cannot be happy. Because before, they are the one facing the main roads. But those people behind them now are the one facing the main road after completion. And we compensate them substantially compared to the compensation government has been paying before. But I'm surprised that some people are still crying that what to pay them is very, very meager. Even I read on media that some were saying that 2-bedroom flat we are paying 1-2, we are paying 400,000, we are paying 300,000. No, those people are economical with the truth. I can tell you boldly, so many people got 25 million, 34 million, 40-something million, 18. We have the records. And some of the residents reported us to the Federal Minister of Works and Housing. They came and had a meeting with us. When you gave them the list of the compensation payment, in fact, they were marveled. They said even federal government cannot pay more than this. We showed them. Just that some people will be hiding the truth. They won't want their neighbors to know what they have collected. That's why we've been careful by divulging the amount as against the name or as against the claimant's name. But I can tell you what we paid them. To us, we've never paid such money like that before for compensation. We did construction in Owo, in Okitupa, in Nore. What we pay far below what we are paying here. We consider this place because of the economic situation of the country at the moment. Secondly, there's one major factor. Most of the residents here, they're the direct owner of those properties. Some of them are retirees, while some are still agile and the one that build their properties. Different from the internal roads we are dualizing in the town. Most of those buildings, they are inherited buildings. Inherited buildings, we have so many people that are benefiting. They are not the people that built those buildings with their money. So with little meeting with them, they agree to government position. But this one, we had several meetings, more than 6 or 7. We engaged them, we appealed to them. We made them realize that so reason, this is what government can do. And when they told us that we should appeal to government, we went back to government. Government multiplied with some factors by paying them. So to me, I expect large number of them to be happy. And apart from that, we made sure that we gave them enough time. We told them we'll be constructing the project segment by segment. So some people, not that we are forcing them coming suddenly and be ejecting them that we want to demolish. No, we gave them ample time. We've been on this thing since around January or February. We'll be sensitizing them. Apart from the paper advertisement, we engage them, we interface together.
You will discover most of the areas where we develop this in the business aspect of it will so flourish. People will now move towards those sides. So the development, because Onyearugbulem, intention of that place ab initio was to move the business aspect from the central of Akure, from the market area to those areas, to shift so that those areas can also develop, as well as the business aspect. Luckily, this overhead flyover will go a long way in realizing the intention of that government when they started this Onyearugbulem market. Around that time when they were talking about, so they will move certain markets to that place. So that was where the name Onyearugbulem market even come about. But this time around, if government now decide by this overhead, by this flyover, it will now move. People will now voluntarily, without forcing them, they will now move voluntarily towards that side, and we'll be able to have a beautiful environment where business will now thrive.
That will be all for this week. Thank you very much for watching. Please keep the questions and comments coming through the number on your screen. We are in the ember months when many people are in a hurry, resulting in unnecessary accidents and consequent loss of lives. Please drive to stay alive. Bye now.